The Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 12:49. Our next case is Mr. Ricardo Moreno. Mr. Moreno, would you give us your full name and DOC number, please? You're on mute.
There's like
My name is Jasmine.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can. Would you give us your full name and DOC number?
Ricardo J. Marino, 558-322.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Moreno. Let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then the board is going to conduct a parole review with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow the participants who've indicated they wish to speak to have their input. Here today, speaking on your behalf, is your uncle, Mr. Freddie Moreno, and your mother, Miss Anna Gutierrez. Your sister, Jasmine Moreno, is present and observing, but does not wish to speak. In opposition, we have Mr. Randy Meyer, Assistant District Attorney from Jefferson Parish. At the end of that, you'll be allowed to make a brief statement before the board before we vote, and then we'll vote. Do you understand our procedure?
Yes, sir.
This is the case of Ricardo J. Moreno, DOC number 558322. His date of birth is January the 22nd, 1986. He's a third class offender. He has a parole eligibility date of March 30th of 2023. He's not eligible for good time. He has a full term date of October the 1st of 2027. He's serving a 6-year sentence on 2 counts of simple burglary, one of which he was adjudicated a habitual offender, and 1 count of attempted simple burglary. Mr. Moreno, is that information accurate?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moreno, your case has been assigned to Ms. Bonnie Jackson. Would you please answer any questions she might have? She will begin our interview process.
All right, Marina, how old are you? 37?
I'm 37 years old, ma'am.
How much time have you actually served on this charge?
I'm approaching 19 months. I've been in jail since September 30th or October 1st of 2021.
And how long have you been at this particular facility?
I think I've been here from 7 to 8 months. I came from St. Charles Parish either in June or July of 22.
Have you had any opportunity for programming over the last 19 months?
Yes, right now I'm currently in Celebrate Recovery class, but we just got back into it. So, I mean, I did like the first 3 months, and they had a pause because they didn't have nobody to teach the class, but I went to the class last week, finally again. Before I got shipped here, I was gonna go to GED class in St. Charles, but I got transferred over here.
Right now, so over the last 19 months, you've only had access to Celebrate Recovery. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Moreno, you're a third offender. You've had 2 previous periods of supervision on your first 2 felony convictions, and you completed those satisfactorily. And then on your third conviction, you were given probation and you were placed in the SAT program. What is the SAT program?
Swift and Certain. It's like I think it's like a pilot program. I completed that too. I completed that.
What was it about? Tell us what they were teaching. What was it dealing with?
It was dealing with my charge, simple burglary. That's what I got it for.
Okay, maybe
I think it's
I mean, is it a drug program? I'm trying to find out what kind of program it is. Is it a drug program?
It's like a intensive probation program, basically. They have like you go to.
What did you have to do in that program? What are some of the things you had to do?
I had to complete a 12-step program. I had to go to court every month, and I had to pay fines and fees. It's like probation. It's intensive probation, basically.
Okay. And you completed that successfully in September of 21. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you only been out about a week from that program and you get these new charges. So please explain that to me and to the rest of the board, how after all of that, a week later, you're committing these vehicle burglaries.
Basically, I was high on Xanax, and I really don't remember what I did, but
But you just got out of an intensive probation program dealing with substance abuse. So my question is, why are we on high on Xanax?
I don't know, ma'am. I was just having a lot of issues with work and like family, and I was just trying to get.
So you didn't take anything that you learned from that program and apply it to your situation.
I did,
Everything
but
I teach you just went over your head, went out the window, and a week later you're back high on Xanax.
I did, but just not in that moment while I was high. I mean, honestly, like that's why I don't take Xanax, because I really don't be remembering what I be doing while I'm on Xanax. So
I think, Mr. Moreno, you're misunderstanding my point. You're asking us to release you on parole. You have had the benefit of supervision and all that involved on 3 separate occasions. On the last occasion, you had an opportunity to go through an intensive program to deal with your drug use.
yes, ma'am.
Complete that program. The first thing you do when you get out of that program is to go right back to the same thing that got you in trouble in the first place. And I don't care whether it was Xanax or cocaine or meth or whatever it was, instead of taking what you learned in the program, you just went right back. So why should I have any confidence whatsoever in releasing you early this time, given the way you responded after having completed the SAC program?
Well, I know for one thing, like I miss my family. I miss working. My mother's sick out there, so I mean, I would love to go get back to her and taking care.
Again, Mr. Moreno, everybody wants that.
Yes, ma'am.
My point is, how do I know what's going to prevent you from, when you're getting out, going right back to drug use? That's your pattern.
Well, I'm gonna go. First thing of all, I'm gonna go to work, do what I have to do. I'm gonna make better decisions. I'm not gonna use.
And why do you believe that? And more importantly, why should I believe that?
Well, because this is my first time ever going through something like this, and I mean, prison life is way different from being free. You know, you can't do what you want. You can't see you can't see your loved ones. And really and truly, like I'm not learning nothing in here. I'm just wasting my time sitting in here. I want to go back out there, and I want to first of all do the right.
Right there. You didn't learn anything in the SAC program. You were just sitting in there, learned nothing. And you weren't in jail.
I did learn something. I just made a bad decision at the time being. I did learn a lot because, you know, I mean, it's not easy to get through that. I mean, that they give you sanctions in jail. I mean, they
8
did a
days,
lot.
and 8 days later, you're high on Xanax.
Yes, ma'am. One day decision is cost me a lot. I can
That's
tell you that.
That's the story of life.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
I mean, I have learned my lesson, and I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change.
You know, you'll have a chance to
Right.
speak at the
Right.
end, okay?
Right.
Yes, sir.
questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Now we hear from your uncle, Mr. Freddie Moreno. Mr. Moreno, can you hear us?
I can hear you, sir. Yes.
Okay. If you would introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your nephew. He's on mute again. We can't hear you. We could hear you at first, but
Okay, I'm muted now.
okay, there you go.
Okay. First of all, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the board. My name is Freddie Moreno. I'm Ricardo Moreno uncle. I'm a former military police officer. And the difference that I will say about my nephew now is that at the time we were not given the information as to what was going on with his situation. So we didn't have any involvement in the beginning. I'm speaking to you from the state of New York. So when I came on board in the past few months, I understand that there were certain things that should have been taking place, like he should have had counsel in place, and that did not happen. So now I got the team of family member, including my daughter, which is a professional licensed psychiatrist dealing with childhood situations, and now she's on board. So the difference now is that he has a lot of family support. He comes from a good family, a family that have always served the country at the local level and the federal level. So now he will have what will he have in place? He will have the the medical support and he will have the legal support. And as far as him making a mistake, we need to understand that sometimes people that get caught up in the drug license medical problem is it's always a situation where most of the patients never do well the first or the second time. Sometimes it takes them 3 and 4 times. So in this situation, he had a sonic situation that was due because he had an injury. And of course, he was prescribed a opiate without giving him the information that he could eventually become dependent on this medication. So he now has more education. He now is going to have the medical support of a professional licensed psychiatrist, which is my daughter, which is his aunt, and he will have me also involved. I'm a licensed private investigator. As I stated before, I'm an ex staff sergeant from the U.S. Army. So we're here to say that we will support him 100%. Granted that he might have made some mistake, and now he realizes the consequences of those mistakes. But he's going to have a team of people that are going to protect our last name, and we're going to put our education and our effort into ensuring that he doesn't fall in the situation that he's currently in. He's a good man, just doing the wrong thing at the wrong time in the wrong place. But he's truly remorseful, and he understands that he needs to do better than this because of this situation. His mother is currently very ill, very sick, and I think that he will benefit and he will attempt to do 100% much better than what he's done so far.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. We appreciate your comments. Now we hear from Ms. Gutierrez. Ms. Gutierrez?
So, my name is Jasmine Marino. Let me see if I can get her to work her phone because she doesn't know how to mute it and unmute it. So, if she's not able to unmute her phone, I'll go ahead and speak on her behalf. Give me one moment.
I got it.
Okay,
Okay,
we've got her now.
thank you.
Ms. Gutierrez, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I heard everything.
Okay, what would you like to tell us about your son?
All right, let us stop side of the road so I can speak to you all. And get him home from work. But since he was little, he was on Ritalin. Because he was very hyperactive. And over here, I have tried everything with them, with the boards, the juveniles, and all of that. I got an operation and don't go out because that's when he gets in trouble with his friend. That's what happened. But otherwise, I don't have no problems with him. He's a good person. He helps me a lot. He's very kind to all my nephews, my grandkids. I'm sorry. Because we have a lot of grandkids. I'm a great grandma. And just stand that he just wants a chance. He told me he promises, Mom, I'm gonna do it. And I love him very much. That's it, but he has a job waiting for him if he gets out. And he has a home to come home to, and he's got a whole family here that loves him very much. And if you all let him out, I'll be there picking him up tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. That's about it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gutierrez. We appreciate your comments.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, now we'll hear from Mr. Randy Meyer. Mr. Meyer?
Good afternoon, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. And I'm opposed to Mr. Moreno's request for parole at this time. I think his responses to y'all's questions indicate he clearly needs some additional programming before he is released. The programming, according to the record, is very limited. The DOC record indicates he's got a fair institutional record. And I think he clearly needs some long-term substance abuse. As Ms. Jackson pointed out, he took the SAC program and immediately went back to using drugs. You look at his criminal history, there's DWIs, there's drug offenses. The offenses at issue here occurred in the parking lot of bars. So I think that's something he really needs to deal with before he's released, to give him a chance to stay out of jail. So for those reasons, we're opposed.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Mr. Moreno, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes? You're on mute, sir.
Okay, are you speaking?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
All right. Like I said, I just would like to be given the opportunity to prove myself that, you know, I'm not a bad person, that I'm gonna do the right things, you know, that I have learned my lesson here. You know, I have a great support system out there, and just I'm gonna go out there, do what I gotta do, be a man, you know, and just make better decisions. And I'm not perfect, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, but I'm just gonna make better decisions, and I don't need to get high and or nothing to be happy and all that. You know, I really hurt my family really bad, and I just want an opportunity to go out there and prove myself. Because if I can't do it, then I know I will have to come back and stay in jail. You know, so I just want an opportunity. I just want a chance. I'm just
Thank
wasting.
you. Thank you, Mr. I'm ready to vote. Ms. Jackson?
Mr. Moreno, being a drug addict, that's a bad person. you are a drug addict and have dealt your addiction, you're not ready for release. That all right, but demonstrated real world, having to make real world decisions. Decision is always back up. Don't think you're ready. Need some more work. So my vote, not long-term substance use. No, fine. As evidence of that, treatment, 8, 7. Let you out today, you would be back shortly. Just are not ready, you need some more work, and I'm going to encourage you to do the hard work of recovery. My vote is to deny.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Ms. Wise?
Young man, I have listened intently. You do have a loving family, so you have a reason. To get clean. But you said, I'm gonna go to work, make better decisions, and not do drugs. I didn't hear anything about AA or NA meetings. I didn't hear anything about treatment that was concerning for me. And I wanted to put that on your mind. You're gonna need help. You're gonna need some support in order to stay clean. My vote is to deny poor supervision history, there's law enforcement opposition, and the need for AA, NA participation. That's my vote.
Thank you. Mr. Moreno, as the former judge who presided over a drug court for 14 years, it's disappointing when we have someone complete our program and they go back to using drugs. But what that tells me is that they did not get it. You were going through all of the motions. You weren't doing what you were supposed to do. Your uncle hit the nail on the head. A lot of times with drug addicts, they've got to go through programs 2 and 3 and 4 times before they finally get it. And until you get it, you're going to continue to do what you're doing. Drug addiction is not a choice. I believe that you believe as you sit there right now, oh, I'm not going to do drugs again. You probably believe that when you got out of that drug program or the SAC program, but you went right back to it because of all of the triggers, all of the things that you weren't dealing with. You didn't have the tools. You didn't go to your AA meeting. You didn't do those kinds of things. You need to understand and you need to learn that. You do need long-term substance abuse treatment. I would love to see you get into the Steve Boyle program and go through that 9-month program. I think that's something that you need. So my vote likewise would be to deny. I hope you can get into that program, apply, try to get into that program, see if you can get transferred to get over there and get into that program, because that's what you're going to need to be able to succeed. So good luck to you, sir.
That's what I've been trying to do, get in a drug program.
Well, we will do whatever we can do on this end to try to make that happen.
That's what I've been trying. I mean, I haven't been sitting around not doing nothing. I've been trying. Like I said, I'm in this class and all that, so I haven't been trying.
Good luck to you. Keep trying. We'll try to help you get in it as well.
Yes, sir.
I believe we're done. It's Madison. Thank you very much for your help there.
That could have been funny if it wasn't so like sad. It was a painful hearing to watch. It really was. It was like with all the noise backgrounds and kind of almost sounded like they were making excuses for him, his family. And it's like, I get that you love him. No one's saying he's a bad person, but he's an addict. He left a program and a week later was breaking into cars because he was on Xanax. And what really stuck out is like it was like talking to a wall. It kept saying to him, well, why did he do that? You were out a week. And it's like, oh, well, Xanax messes me up. I don't remember anything. I don't know why, I don't know why I did the Xanax. It didn't even realize, like, he was still blaming it on Xanax. It was like he didn't it didn't even click yet. That's not the point. It could have been anything. Imagine how many cars he broke into. Like, it causes so much headache for everyone who's just trying to get along in the world. And you have this guy who's just, oh, let me pop some Xanax and start breaking into cars a week after getting out with everything on the line. And then he's sitting here at his parole hearing, and it's just like, I don't know. I didn't feel bad for him. He just seemed like someone who really didn't get it. I don't know what it is, but it was like, he seemed clueless, entirely clueless. And I don't know how long it will take for him until he realizes, like, wait a minute, I have a serious, serious, serious problem. But I think that's what the board was saying, like, trying this new feature. It looks like I can move. Oh, where you go, I can move myself. Oops. Sorry, I was trying to move my profile to the right, so I'm not blocking his face. Yeah, it was bizarre. We've seen a lot, but that might have been a first. It was just like banging heads. You're like, no. Like, hello, is anyone there? You just get out of this program and you're on Xanax. He's like, yeah, I know, Xanax is bad. I can't remember anything I do when I'm on Xanax. So that was the problem. It was the Xanax. It was the problem. And they're like, no. Why were you breaking into the it's the Xanax? Well, why did you take the Xanax? Oh man. Again, thankfully it didn't hurt anyone. And yeah, I mean, Xanax can do mess. You won't remember anything on it, but you gotta then don't take it. Don't abuse it. And if it's not prescribed for you, nothing good can come from taking too much of that stuff. But hopefully he does get the help he needs. And he also, with what his uncle was saying, I didn't really understand is like, how is his uncle going to help him from New York? So I didn't really, I know he means well, and it's great that he has this family support, but I would love to see one day it click for you, man. You'll get it under control. But the problem for me was that it just didn't seem that he understood. So he's got like a long battle still. He first needs to like understand. And until he understands, only then can he start to try to solve a problem. Again, that's just my opinion from a brief hearing. Love to hear yours. Also love to hear your stories about your struggles with sobriety. I'm sure there are a lot of people watching this that have done very similar things. We all have our demons, and we all do things that don't make sense. So, one person addiction, there's a lot. If we all had to go on YouTube and air it out to the public, it wouldn't be fun for us. So hopefully he does find his sobriety. Wishing him luck. With that, I'll let you go.